Hi, welcome to today's community chat. We are going to speak with the City of Norfolk about the Child Abuse Prevention Month and events they have going on annually. You're going to see some B-roll on the screen in just a minute of previous events and other pinwheel gardens, which you'll hear about from around the area. So I'm going to bring Darlene Smith on, who is with the City of Norfolk. She's an Associate Director for Individual and Family Services with the Norfolk Department of Human Services. So Darlene, thank you so much for spending time with us today to talk about this month and also the events that you all have going on in Norfolk tomorrow. So if you could, please introduce yourself and tell us, what your role is.
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Darlene Smith, and I'm the Associate Director of Individual and the City of Norfolk gathers in order to celebrate families and children. We do that by planting a pinwheel garden at our City Hall downtown. And the pinwheel that you see, it denotes playfulness. And every child, no matter where, deserves to have a safe environment where they can learn, play, and feel safe. And a part of us planting the pinwheel garden is to show our togetherness in our support of children and families.
Thank you. And, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And people are seeing, the pinwheels right here on the screen, and they will be able to see them in Norfolk starting tomorrow. First I wanted to, maybe get into the plans for tomorrow, and then we can talk, larger about maybe what the city does to keep kids safe and then also how the community can help. But can you start just by telling us about the day tomorrow and some of the plans that are, set and where the community can join or come into those?
Sure. Our day tomorrow will include a community walk from our Norfolk Department of Human Services building in downtown Norfolk, 741 Monticello Avenue. And we will be walking together not only with employees and staff of our department, but also with people that we partnered with in the community, such as our law enforcement and other partners that provide services to our family. We're walking together to show our togetherness for children and families. We will be meeting at our City Hall, which is downtown Norfolk, in order to plant our pinwheels in our garden in front of our City Hall building.
And as far as people are concerned, can they, just join you all for the walk portion? Can they stay and be a part of the ceremony and planting of the pinwheels?
Actually, anyone is welcome to walk with us because we know it takes a community in order to help prevent child abuse and neglect. So we welcome anyone who would like to walk with us, or if anyone would like to meet us at our City Hall, please do so as well. We'll be meeting there approximately 1:00 p.m. on tomorrow.
Okay, great. And then they can get more information about, maybe some of the resources and larger plans that you all have in the city of Norfolk for those prevention resources.
Yes. We will have resources available.
Great. And, I wanted to talk, the problem here, and just so people know, because viewers might not know how prevalent, this problem is in our community and across, the United States. And I was reading somewhere, at least this is nationally, so I know the numbers are going to be different, but the CDC says, maybe about 1 in 7 children face some sort of abuse. At least that was as of 2020, data. But, can you talk a little bit about, why this is so important to our community and how large the problem is?
Sure. This is very important to our community because, as I said before, every child deserves to have a safe environment where they can play freely and they can feel safe and grow in a thriving environment. Those numbers that you just spoke about from 2020 are very similar to the data that was presented in 2022. So every child deserves a safe environment. And what we do in Norfolk is we provide resources to families so that they can learn about nurturing children, because parenting is not easy and it can be very tough. And we want families to freely ask for, and we provide services and resources that can help them learn how to nurture and or already enhance the skills that they have, to enhance their parenting capabilities so that they can present and create that nurturing environment for children.
Right. So you all want to strengthen that family unit and strengthen those parenting skills where you can, where people come to you.
That's absolutely correct. We provide resources in order to do that. And when we're talking about strengthening parenting skills, we're talking about understanding child development. We're talking about understanding healthy relationships as it pertains to a parent and a child. And then we're also talking about what does a child need throughout their lifespan in order to be able to grow and thrive.
And it's not just the family unit that might be able to get help or help a child, right? So you all are asking the community to be a part of this, to watch out for maybe signs or help in the scheme of prevention and what you can do to help. I mean, can you speak to maybe what the community can do to be a part of this?
Sure. Any has to be a strong foundation of an authentic relationship between the families and our communities, because this is not something that can be done in silos. We're talking about
Oh, sorry, Darlene, I
partnerships.
think we lost you for part of that answer there. If you could just start from the beginning. Sorry to cut you off.
No problem. What I was saying is that any partnership the communities and our families, because no family lives in a silo to help raise children. So when we're talking about community partnerships, we're talking about involving any and everyone who comes in contact with children. That could be any professionals, to include teachers, our medical professionals, childcare providers, anyone who is involved with children, helping them to understand what child development is, looking at what the signs of abuse and neglect are, looking at resources that they can provide to families that come to them in order to help them enhance their parenting capacity. And also looking at just being a resource and looking at what children need in order to be nurtured every day. Because as I said before, parenting is not easy. And quite frankly, it can be tough for some of us. So we definitely need to be able to support families and support parents. And that requires a community in order to do that.
Right, and you said something important at the beginning, to the effect of, these children don't live in a vacuum. Like it's the community itself that also is important in addition to the family unit, whether to offer prevention, to offer help, to offer these resources. I mean, one thing I did want to bring up, and we don't have to go into too much detail about it because it's more Virginia as a whole, but the social services from Virginia, they said that educators are a big part of being there, whether to help kids grow, but then also to report some incidents that do come up. And so I mean, they're spending so much time with children throughout the day, the week, the year. I mean, that education piece, I mean, is that particularly important to, helping the community for those teachers to be, involved in that way and be able to report and be there for the child?
The educational piece is, the educational piece the teachers and any personnel in our school systems, they see our children more frequently. But not only are we talking about teachers, but we're talking about anyone who has contact with children. We're talking about medical professionals, daycare providers. We need all of these folks in signs of abuse and neglect so that we can assist families where appropriate and in a timely manner. Anytime anyone sees or feels as if a child may be abused or neglected, immediately contact our child abuse and neglect hotline so that we can initiate services for the family.
And I did want to ask, underreporting, I think, across the board, and maybe that's for, other issues too, seems to be a problem. Is there anything that the city of Norfolk suggests to people, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's a teacher, whether it's law enforcement, in terms of, going out of your way to report things? I think people might get nervous, what if it's a one-time incident or one, I think people do get nervous to report, it seems, from the underreporting, whether that's a relationship problem or just they don't want to be involved. I mean, what do you say to those people who might be timid to report or might want to know the full story? I mean, what do you say to those incidents?
For those incidents, I would say, please feel free to contact us. We have a hotline that is operational 24 hours a day, and every piece of information, whether anyone feels that it's big or small, it helps to assist us in preventing child abuse and neglect. Persons who call our hotline can remain anonymous, and that way, if there's information that needs to be reported, we don't want people to feel hesitant about it. Helps us in being able to assess situations in order to prevent future incidents of abuse and neglect.
And, as far as you all said you offered family services, I think a big piece throughout, different studies I've looked at and different resources that you all have on your website talk about this stress and overwhelming stress that, parents have, especially, right now where, groceries are expensive, housing is expensive. There's a lot of strain, just in general in the community. I mean, are there resources specifically to helping parents maybe manage those resources so that, the stress might not fall on the family and the child?
Yes, there are resources, and anyone can contact our department for additional resources to assist. We are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to provide families and resources in order to address any scenarios or situations that may cause family stress. Often lead or can lead to abuse and neglect. Therefore, we try to provide services that may eliminate. And if we do not have the information directly, we will link families to those resources and that information for them. But the important thing is stepping out and asking. It does not make of a parent to ask for help. Because as I said before, parenting is tough, and we are here to support parents in everything that they do in order to help create their parenting capabilities and create that nurturing environment for their children.
Absolutely. And at this point, I did want to just give you, if there's not a question specifically that maybe, sort of gave you platform to talk about something that was on your mind that you wanted to share with everyone, whether it's for tomorrow or for the month or for services in general, is there anything else that you wanted to highlight?
I just wanted to say again that everyone is welcome to participate in our prevention walk planting ceremony on tomorrow. And here in the city of Norfolk, we know that all children and families are important, and we are here to provide the resources and support and information to any and everyone that needs that information. So we are definitely here and to support families.
Well, thank you, Darlene. And I think for anyone that is able to get out there tomorrow, for part of it, or to go and maybe, honor victims or support just by seeing the Pinwheel Garden later on, I guess, how long is the Pinwheel Garden going to stay up for?
All throughout the month of April. So even if you're unable to participate with us on tomorrow, please come by and see our pinwheel. And then there'll also be resources and information that we will have to provide.
Great. Well, Darlene, thank you so much, and thank you for making time for the viewers of WAVY, to talk about this event and what's happening for the month of April and whether or not they can get out there, tomorrow or for the month. Hopefully this will be on their mind, throughout this month, but then throughout the year, and sort of take these resources and tips with them. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.